So I'm here with an absolute Instagram organic demon who's really good at what he does. So yeah, just a few interviews, get a few sauce. So honestly, I think the biggest thing I struggle with my clients, especially for reels, is ideation. I feel like with YouTube, it's a lot more straightforward because like with YouTube, like the idea you want, if you want to know if it's good or not, you just search it in the search bar and then you look at like who's posted it, how recent it was, etc. But with Instagram, they don't really have like that SEO. The way honestly that I like went about finding ideas was I would just look for channels in similar niches and like not channels, like pages in similar niches that my clients liked and competitors. I would look at like what's performing well for them and then I'd like kind of just reverse engineer it. But I didn't necessarily have like a system for that. It's very here and there. So what does your process look like if you had, let's say, you sign someone for consulting today and they don't want any done for you help. They just want you to give them like the thing they struggle with is ideation. They want you to give them step by step, do this in order. This is how you find really good ideas and this is how you execute them. What would you do?
Right. So first of all, the main thing that we do is as soon as we onboard them, we have them basically give us at least 15 IGs that they either looked at from the past, they took inspiration from, or they see them as genuine competitors. So we take those 15 IGs and then for like, the thing is with my process, it's quite lengthy. We watch them for 15 days. So we see every CTA they do. We see every video they do. We literally stalk them and then we have this massive document of strategies that they use, CTAs that they use, story CTAs that they use. Because for organic, the easiest way is organic DMs. That's the easiest way to drive organic revenue that I've seen that's worked the best. You can do like links. We've done one theme page that did really well with links. I could dive deeper into that. But for most of our clients, we get like 15 IGs and then we just stalk those pages for 15 days. But if we see one page isn't doing like organic, they aren't doing CTAs, we actually DQ them and we get them out of the list. And we sort of just shorten that list into the best ones. And then it's just testing, man. We test types of content that they post. I mean, obviously, we throw all of it into AI and we ask it to just give us the best of what it sees and optimize it as we go. So and then we document everything. We document every CTA and we just build on that. So yeah, just make it simple. We just grab 15 IGs from the creator themselves. We don't do it ourselves. We want the creator to give it to us because they know exactly who they're competing with. Like they know off their head, like, oh, this guy is stealing my clients. This guy is stealing like courses that I could sell to. And then we just literally reverse engineer what they do. We adapt it into our client style and then we just test it a bunch. And then the thing is with testing, we build on the testing. We don't just test and throw away. We test and we build on it. Sort of like we make a Notion in a way, and then we just document every process. It's quite simple and it's easier said than done, obviously, but it's very similar to how you would do your YouTube one. But I think the main core difference is that it's a very lengthy process for us. We like document those IGs over 7 days, sometimes even 2 weeks. Because with organic, the main thing, like I said, is your story CTAs. So you have to see what those guys are doing.
Okay.
And like,
so that's for stories.
yeah.
What about for like the reels themselves? Because that was my initial question.
Yeah.
Obviously stories print a lot, but you need traffic to drive towards it. So like do you do like the same process for like
same process? And it's something I do personally that I like to do is, so I'll just go to my client, I'll like 10 of their posts quickly, and then obviously the algorithm then switches up and it'll throw me their competitors. Unfortunately, for a lot of like my biggest clients, it was a lot of doom scrolling and seeing what other guys were doing. It's quite literally the same process as YouTube, I think. But the main core difference is I don't look for the competitors; they give me their competitors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
hopefully that answers the question. Like I
no,
said,
that is sauce.
Yeah.
What I did actually is we both have experience with this, but the B-roll reels, I had a client who we pushed that really hard for and we saw really good growth before obviously had that issue with the account. Remember I told you about that. So the process for ideation was kind of similar to what you did. We had actually, now that I think about it, we didn't have it in a system. We just did it in the back of our heads, but we had like pages. He was in ecom. So like Samir, all the other guys, we would just look at them, look at what they're doing, and especially look at when they would make switches. Cause the last year, at the beginning of the year, at least I saw with my client, a lot of the stuff that was doing well was like the flexing. Oh, I bought a car. Oh, here's like 100K day with Shopify. That did really well. And the audience it brought wasn't really that bad. But I think in the middle of the year, at least what I saw with my client, there was a switch. And people like to see more content that shows like the real stuff. So what we did was, instead of just, like most e-com reels is like, oh, like here's a 100K day, here's how I bought my dream car. We were very strategic with it. We looked at those reels. We realized like our ICP, probably like they're not really resonating with that much. So we'd have that as the hook, like all the highs. Then we actually helped pioneer it. I'm sure you saw those reels where it's the black screen and switches, then it's like the raw reality. And then afterwards it's like working clips or stuff that shows like you working hard. And then we also took that and then, what we did was, instead of just having it for lifestyle, we also did it for, have you seen those reels where it's like you give sauce like in text format? So it's like, want to make 10K a month drop shipping, then black screen and then switch. And then it's just B-roll clips and we gave sauce. We did that and that performed pretty well. So for the B-roll reels, I think, yeah, getting that list of competitors, obviously doom scrolling, seeing what's working. And then, like you said, obviously you take inspiration and then you build upon it. But my question to you is actually, I think, yeah, B-roll reels, you can definitely crack it. The biggest issue will probably be getting the correct ICP, but we can speak about that later. But how about for talking head? How do you get your ideas for that? Is it like a similar process? Like because with talking head, you also do need to make it unique in a way. Do you ever have like a framework, or do you just do the exact same thing that you do and then just make it unique to your client?
All right, so for talking reels, I'm a big Nick Saban says this really well, especially for talking reels. I don't like to do ideation. I like to get it really raw. So for some talking reels, some of our most viewed ones actually weren't even engineered. We literally just took their coaching calls
And clipped it up?
and clipped it up, yeah. And then obviously we'd add like we do like the black bar style, and we'd add like a cool header that actually catches someone when they read it. But for talking head, we scripted some of it. I personally felt like the more raw, authentic ones worked better, because it doesn't feel like it was engineered for you. It actually feels like you're there. That's why coaching calls are big. But to actually answer the question, ideation, it would sort of similar. It would be like the same format, just with a couple more tweaks. Honestly, like the best performing talking heads we ever did were just coaching calls from clients. Or like I made a really cool framework recently that I learned from someone that I paid for coaching. So I'll just give them the hook, and in the middle it's completely them. I'll just give them a very brief.
Like bullet points, kind of.
Yeah, not even bullet points. Literally the hook. I'll give them the hook, and then the middle is just talk about this and why it happened and how you solved it. And then the CTA would literally just be the most simple thing, follow to learn more. So yeah, it would be the same process, finding the competitors, doing deep dive. What I'd do actually to get really good source ones, I'd go to their competitors' YouTube and mix that in with their short form. So then we're getting like a bunch more. So I wouldn't just scrape short form. I'd scrape the competitors' YouTubes and then make that our short form. Because most of these guys, they don't even make their long form YouTube. And their long form is super valuable. So we steal their long form and make it our short form. Guys think it comes from us.
Would you still do like scripted short form now in 2026? You think it would work? Because I'll be honest, bro, it's really interesting you say you just do the coaching calls, because for majority of my clients, we did do the scripted talking head. But what I realized was the best case study ever that we have for scripted talking head was Ben Bader. His were really, really good. But I also think that's because he was just the type of person that was so good with words and scripting. Because I've seen with like scripting talking head, at least for my clients, it's very almost hit or miss. It really does depend on the type of person you are and how good you are with kind of like articulating yourself. Because with like Ben, it was effortless, right? But you might see another guy trying to emulate that and it seems very superficial. So what's your thoughts on that? I think you really actually opened up a perspective for me. I think maybe it is worth trying out just clipping up more raw stuff. My only thing with that is, how do you go about, because I have tried it for some clients. I do it for Hudson Cosper. Those perform really well. But I've tried it for some clients, and the issue we've had is like, okay, we were clipping up the long form, so maybe this is why. But with like some of the long form, it's very hard to like get the main point across and compress it into a minute. It's almost like the clips don't make sense within the context. I tried, what I did was like stitching different parts of the long form, but even that didn't flow, but I didn't really explore that too much. What's your thoughts on that? On just like making it flow correctly and making it, kind of just like, not being out of context, right? Because you have to understand, if you're clipping up a YouTube video and let's say, your clip starts at the 17-minute mark, there's before that 16 minutes, 59 seconds of context, right? So I'm just kind of curious how you do that. But something I also thought of as well too is that maybe have the client do like just something like this where they're speaking with someone where there is like points, maybe give a bit of a structure. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts there.
Like I said, how you talk about BIM beta was really like just like it really just floated it really well. It completely depends on the client. The more you speak with them and the more you meet with them on like a weekly basis, you'll start to see, and the more feedback they give you. The reason why I switched to this framework was a lot of the clients I worked with said they just didn't like scripts, and I saw it when they like so I would review footage, raw footage before we gave it to editors, just to sort of see how they actually recorded it, to see if they were, you could tell when a client's struggling with a script or not. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, we got to make a switch up. And that's why we changed that hook and then like the brief thing and then the CTA. But for some clients who can't really think off their head that well, the scripting still works. So to answer the question, is it still worth it? Yes, but you've got to see which way works for which client.
Okay, so it's dependent on the
Yeah,
type
it
of
depends
person.
on the it fully depends on the type of person. Sometimes full scripts will be horrible for someone like Ben Beta, like fully scripted things might actually he maybe went off script, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe like a more empty script or a more guided like framework would work horrible for someone, but it could work good for another client. Like it's just you sort of have to speak to them one to one to see which format they prefer and then take
That's
it
also
from there.
probably why it's so important when you're starting out, to just test different formats, right? You don't want to just box yourself in with one thing. You want to see what's actually working. Because this is actually in my personal experience, but in 2024, I started posting on TikTok. I just did raw videos. Those performed really well. I remember there was like a period for like a month where I was growing by 100 followers every single day. And I was making very niche content. It wasn't really mass market. I don't know why I was doing it, but I was teaching like people in South Africa how to make money online. I think I wanted to drop an offer. I'm not sure. I was going by 100 followers every day. And that was going really well. But then eventually it died out, like the raw talking head. But I didn't start testing other stuff. I kept doing it. And then, my account never got any traction. But once we came back from the trip, I realized I have all these clips. Let me try out, okay, maybe slideshows. Let me try out B-roll videos. Let me try out just, one video with a cool audio. And let me also try out talking head. And through like doing all of those different formats, I'm kind of seeing what's working and actually help revive my account. And, I think it's so important to just try different formats.
So someone that I paid a lot of coaching for actually told me, if you upload 7 videos and they all perform the same, that's a sign you have to test something new, or at least do it different. 7 videos, if they all perform the same, or if they all perform like they all get like 1,000 views, something's not clicking there. Either it's a client, or either it's the format behind it, or the structure behind it. But then go back to one of the other points about the long form and kind of putting that into short form. That's really tricky. That's really fucking hard. How I tried to solve it was, and this still hasn't solved it. It's still actually an issue, but so when we would script out vlogs, we'd script out specific parts where they talk real value, but it would be like I scripted in a way where it would be bullet points in a way. So when we actually edited it, we could cut those specific parts. So it wouldn't be a long tangent. I'd actually put it there in the script, make this like a 5-minute bit, and have decent pauses in between and end each sentence. And when I'd actually send the script to the client, I'd tell him, yo, at this specific part, I'd tell him in advance, we'd love to chop this part off the short form. So try to make it flow better. Obviously, that's a lot of work on the client. But that's a very tricky one to sort out, well, to work out, because obviously when a client is in the flow, you don't want to fucking disturb it.
Yeah.
But that's the way that I found it. It's still something that I'm actually struggling with. Luckily I don't do a lot of long form, so I don't run into a lot. But that's a solution that I found worked for a while. It still was an issue, but it made it slightly better. But it's not something that I've perfected yet, I would say.
So maybe just being a bit more strategic.
Yeah, I guess just in the scripts indicating to the client, like, especially when you're putting like a part where they're going to split value, or if you're giving them like a structure. I guess
The thing is, I actually want to add this on, my bad for cutting you off, but like most of the videos we're cutting up are actually like educational long form. Like we're posting it on long form to do well on YouTube. We just realized like, hey, we have this up. Why don't we try clip it up? But the issue I ran into is that I think with vlogs, what you suggested is really good. I'll definitely give that a try to anyone watching. I think that's pretty good too as well. But with I don't know. I think with educational, it really is dependent up to the person. Because, like I mentioned, Hudson is also one of my really good case studies. We just clip up his YouTube, and I don't know what it is, but every single and I've tested the same editor too as well, because my editor for clipping like YouTube is cracked, especially with Hudson stuff. I've tested him on other clients. I think it might be dependent on the person and the type of video, because like with every single one of Hudson's videos we make, even if some of them start off abrupt, at like the end of every single of one of Hudson's videos, it still makes sense. It might be dependent on the person, but he does like a really good job of just like, it's like every clip just makes sense. I just think it might be dependent on person and it might be dependent on niche, but
No, it really is dependent on the person. Now that you told me that, I realized, so at one client, we could do exactly that. Literally every minute we could make a clip. But another client he'd yap so much and it'd go so off topic. That's the problem. So yeah, it is super client dependent. You can make it work. I think it's also a post-production thing. As long as your editor knows like what fluff to cut out and connect it with other bits.
the editor has to
Yeah.
They need to understand US culture, I think.
Yeah, not just use culture, but they gotta understand the flow. Like, I mean, you could have 2 minutes and only 20 seconds is actually valuable. But you could then connect it. Like, I mean, you could take that 2 minutes and connect 1 minute with 1 minute and a half, you know what I mean, in between. It is dependent on the person, yes, but I think it's also very important in post-production for the editor to know how to connect it well. I think that's actually something that you could train your editors on as well. Like, you could teach them like on stuff like this. Obviously, it's a bit harder. You'd have to see how to do it, but yes, I agree. It is definitely person dependent. I've seen it in like firsthand. With one client, we struggled a lot, but with one client, it was so easy. But then again, with the first client, which was hard, we sort of figured it out just through connecting clips better. So it's a very sticky situation. But I think there's always a solution, whether it's just cutting it better in post or just telling the guy to just stop yapping so much in his educational content and actually just keep to the point. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It might help, it might not. But yeah.
But I've got a really good question for you at the end based on everything we've spoken about. But before that, I have one more. So we've covered a lot here. But obviously building a personal brand, especially on Instagram, is never just like a one-time thing. So what is let's say someone paid you $10,000 again, they don't want done for you. They just kind of want consulting and they want to run their own stuff. What are the steps you would give them to, okay, we already covered ideating content, but like the exact system they would follow week by week or month by month or whatever it may be to just keep their personal brand running and make sure they never plateau and that they're always on an upward trend. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, the first thing is get the 15, competitors, study them for about 7 weeks, look at their stories, look at their reels. I'd probably, since we want to start posting ASAP, I'd look at their most popular videos, but also filter that out by them not being like too old, like posted 2 years ago. Like a video that's done good 3 months ago is probably better than one that did good 3 years ago. So I'd look at that. I'd obviously I'd download them. I'd put the script in. I'd transcribe it, put the script into Google Docs. Okay, I'd rewrite it to be unique to me. I'd start testing that, and then I'd keep studying those other 15 pages week after week. I'd keep logging the data. And then, whilst I'm logging the data, I'm still posting my own stuff. And then I'm looking at how my own stuff did, reverse engineering it, seeing why it did well, and then just continually doing that process. But obviously that is kind of a lot. So I kind of want to pick your brain as to, one, how you systemize the research, right? Because I've seen with my clients, the research I do, and it works, but it doesn't work long term, is I would just do the research on a more so day by day basis. So it's like, okay, especially for my clients where I do like just raw videos where we push high volume. And that's mainly because we focus more on YouTube, but it'll be like, okay, I go onto Instagram today. I look at what's performing well, how we can make it unique to us. And then I just send them that on a day by day basis and then just remake some of our old winners too as well. But it isn't necessarily very long term. So I'm kind of interested in your thought process. Like, what is that system like on a, even, okay, onboarding, we've covered it, right? So it's get the list of 15 creators, study them for 2 weeks, have all that data, test off of all of that data. But what happens after that? And how do you keep that going? How do you keep it consistent?
So before we even get into it, there's a 3 framework system that I follow with every client to make sure that they don't sort of plateau, but they don't just become one type of person. Like, you shouldn't always just upload only value videos. I don't believe that. You shouldn't only upload B-roll video. I don't believe that. It's a 3-step framework. It's basically my content framework, and I actually got it here. Number one, it's show your success. That's your social proof. So that's your Lambo. That's your Rolex. It's a bit douchey, but it motivates people, and it makes people curious
It's
what
proof
you
too
do.
as well.
Yeah, it's social proof. And then it's the why and how. So show people why you're successful or how you became successful. And then it's the personality. That's the connection that bridges people, because we're in a trust economy. So people, I mean, yeah, they'll see your results, they'll see how you did it, but they wanna follow someone, and they want to learn from someone who's actually a decent person.
Well,
So yeah.
people buy from people, and it's usually
Yeah.
people they like.
So you want to show people that you are successful, show people how you became successful or why you're successful, and then personality content. But that's a bit off board. I just wanted to drop that because that's something I really believe in. But back to the competitors thing, like I said, yeah, competitors is just the biggest thing. You want to try and always look at competitors. So what I would do is every week I'd take our client work. I'd usually I do it on like a Sunday actually, because that's where I feel like everyone's dead. So I'd take that, I'd combine everything, I'd look at the best performing videos, I'd look at the worst performing videos, and then I'll go to 5 competitors that I feel like are sort of buzzing or doing well, and then I'd compare it to them. I wouldn't do daily, because why I wouldn't do daily is because, like I said, content's always changing. If you're doing it on a daily basis, you're not really seeing the bigger picture in a way. You're not seeing the pattern that they're creating. So if you look at it from a weekly perspective, you're looking at all their winners up front, and you're looking at all their losers. So then you can adapt that to you. So if they have losers, you know not to make that in your future ideation. If they have winners, you know to double down on those. So yeah, I wouldn't do daily. I'd look at it weekly, sometimes even bi-weekly instead. You shouldn't rush to just change your content or rush to change to follow a competitor.
That is a very good point. I
because-
was looking at the stuff. Sorry to cut you off. I was looking at the stuff I was posting, kind of on a daily basis, and I was like, yeah, this isn't doing as good. But then
And I'll tell you why also.
Yeah.
So you could look at someone daily, right? Let's say someone competitor posted a video yesterday and it went viral. Yeah, it might have went viral, but you don't know the ice speed brought in. You don't know if the comments were good. You don't know if the saves were good. So now if you stretch that over a week, you could actually see the real performance. Because 24 hours is good, yeah. But remember, Instagram builds on top of each other. Like some videos you could post from a year ago go viral. It happened to me. So that's why I like to stretch it out to a week, because you see the bigger picture. You're not just seeing the like this, yeah, a video goes viral, but you don't know, did it just go viral because something stupid in the video? You don't want to just recreate that. You want to see, was it healthy viral for them? Was it bad viral? So I wouldn't look at it daily. Like if someone made a video and they went viral today, I wouldn't just have my client make that video the same day. I'd wait it out. I'd see how does it actually perform and how does it affect his whole channel. Is the next video complete dead again? Or does it build from that virality in a way? If that makes sense, right?
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So like viral is good, but you got to see the after effects of the virality, because a client could have something that goes viral, but if it doesn't actually build onto the next video or build onto the following content,
It's not meant to be.
yeah, then you don't want that. So that's why I say before, like if a client comes to me and says, yo, I want to do this guy went viral, I tell him, yo, let's study it first. Let's see how it performs in 3 days. Does it continue to gain traction, or is it just a one-hit wonder?
Holy sauce.
Yeah, so that's something I do.
Holy
That's why I look at it on a weekly basis and not daily,
You
because
have to see the
daily is
big picture.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see the big picture. It might do good, yeah, but how does it actually? Because content, like, it connects to each other. I mean, bro, someone can see one video, they go to your profile, they see the next video, and they get fucking offed, right? What other question did you ask?
It was just it was the system you use after onboarding to keep it going. Just like a step-by-step repeatable framework. So what I've got so far is obviously like, okay, you get your list of 15 creators, you study them, you look at your videos. How do you actually monitor that, by the way? Do you do it manually? Do you have someone do that for you? Do you have like a bot?
So we got how do we monitor the competitors or the
The
clients?
competitors.
The competitors. So we like to do a Google Doc, a Google Sheets. So we'll put their names there, and then we'll do top video for the week, most performing video of the week, least performing video of the week, and we'll just put everything down. Very simple things. I mean, you don't have to like go crazy into their numbers, right? As long as you got the links and you can go and look at them. But Google Sheets is probably the easiest thing. You don't
Does someone
overcome.
do that manually?
Yeah, we got a VA that used to do it manually.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough,
I mean,
fair
VA is not that much. Sometimes even I would dive into it myself, because as the actual agency owner,
You'd know a bit more.
it's obviously it's a bit low ROI. It's a low leverage task, but that's just me. I like to dive deep into those trenches because for me, it gives me a better idea of what I'm actually creating, and it gives me more confidence that I know what I'm about to do for them is going to work
Okay.
because I see it firsthand.
Interesting. So
But I won't do it all the time,
yeah,
obviously.
no, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do that every Sunday. Update the Google Sheet, look at the Google Sheet, analyze, and then see how you can make.
Yeah, and then another big thing is also, I mean, I'm sure you have this in place, but you track weekly on your clients, right? How much views and stuff they get. Yeah, that's also like crazy. You can then compare those weeks. So if one week was really good and one week was really bad, you can compare which videos did really good. And then if those videos did really good, redo them in a new way
Yeah,
and
looking at
test
the
it.
data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Data is very, very important. I believe data is a very, very good thing. Data with competitors, data with your clients. Google Sheets is really big. Because you could just you could put as much info you want in there. I mean, you could also track it on stuff like Monday.com. That's also not bad. But yeah, it's just data. Just track on Google Sheets. Also, if you really want, you just fucking do it in your notes app. Literally, just every Sunday, go through like 5 competitors with your clients.
The most important thing though is that you track and that you look. You don't shoot blind.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not what
You're
I'm
not
doing.
just you're not just shooting blind. You're not just looking. Oh, this guy went viral. Let's do it. No, this guy went viral. Why did he go viral? What are the what is the after effect of that virality? And what did he do before that? Was he doing something else that might have led to it? Was there other types of content that he did that was similar to it? Because he could have tested that video 5 times. He could have made that video 5 times and only once went viral because one small thing was different. You could test that. Obviously now it's a bit harder because they do trial reels, so you can't really see them. But sometimes you'll see that they'll create a video 5 times and only one time it will go viral. And the other 4 times you'll see it on their profile. So you could see, okay, let's do it like that. So that's something I actually found out with one client, one of their competitors. They were recreating videos like really fast with trial reels, and we had one account. This was pure luck. We just kept seeing the same video, and we saw that this one only got 1,000 views, and we saw the one they put on their profile. That one went viral, and we had the trial reel and we had the actual virality one, so we knew exactly why they went viral in that one. It was simply literally just because the Lambo was up front.
But basically, what I'm hearing is that one, know who your competitors are, study them relentlessly. Two, obsess over data and testing.
Yeah.
Don't just look at the data every month. Now look at it week by week basis, and then very, very importantly, do not assess your videos on a daily basis because then you're gonna get stuck in a hamster wheel. That is sauce. Now, last question. So, a lot of the stuff that we spoke about, some of the answers, like the final answers we had, is that it comes down to the person. So, what would you say to someone watching this, maybe as an info product, maybe runs a business, really wants to do well with content, wants to build their personal brand? Obviously, I'll share something too as well, but I know you've worked with some fairly big guys, gotten them really insane results. What would you, and you've worked with them for a very long time, so I'd imagine that, you know, they were that type of person. Yeah. What would you say to that person to, or rather, like, who is the type of person who, you know, does content well and actually gets results? Like, how do you be that person if you're looking to get good at content? What are the habits you need? What is the, like, mindset you need? Or what do you think?
Good question. Hard question as well. Honestly, I think every creator's got people that will follow them. If they're really introverted, you will have someone that will follow you. The best thing is to just be yourself. Never try to impersonate someone. We had this issue actually at one stage where one client really wanted to do this clipping thing like Andrew Tate and have this whole Andrew Tate agenda. And we did it. Yeah, we got views, but we got a lot of hate. And hate, obviously, yeah, it's good, but I mean, it's also bad. It really fucks you up. It really fucks up how the page is. Honestly, just be yourself and the audience will come. You will attract your audience. If you're really outgoing, you'll attract an audience like that. If you're really not, if you're a bit introverted, you'll attract an audience like that. Just continuously be yourself. Upload content that you actually want to upload. As a client, if you got an agency that's helping you build and you don't like the content ideas that you're giving you have to tell them that I don't like this and I want to do this instead. And then have them help you engineer that type of content. Create content that you actually enjoy. And I promise you, you'll enjoy creating that content so much that the content will just be good. And then just be yourself. Don't be someone that you're not. Because people see through that, and we're in a trust economy now where there's so much people creating content and trying to be people that they're not. So yeah. I think that answers the question. I don't know if it does perfectly. Create content that you would enjoy.
That your younger self would need.
Yeah. Create content that if you're creating content for an info product, create content that you felt that you needed back then. and then you'll attract that audience. Be yourself, create content that you actually enjoy, and create content that you actually want to put out there, create content that you are proud of. If you don't like a video, if you feel like you felt scummy, if you don't feel good about putting that content out there, that should tell you something.
I think you encapsulated that perfectly, bro. I was gonna say was okay, be open to testing stuff, don't expect immediate results. But that's more so like whenever I have a problem in my business, this is gonna be a bit of a tangent, but I don't like to look at the symptoms, I like to look at the cause. The cause of maybe someone not succeeding and maybe them being impatient and whatever it may be. Maybe they're just making content that's but you'll understand my point in a sec. Maybe they're making content where they're not being themselves. And that was a big light bulb for me too as well, because I have a client who, so he's a growth operator, sells a growth operating info product. He still runs his agency, by the way. I have to say that because he knows who he is. And if I says he just sells an info product, he's going to kill me. But yeah, so he has that. When we started with him, we did more so like full talking heads, like edited stuff, what we normally do. And he just came straight up to me. He said, bro, I don't like this stuff. I think the edits look great, but the videos aren't doing well because, with this format, I'm just not able to be myself on camera. The script is a bit too rigid and it's not what I want to do. I think what would really be better and the type of content I want to create is Miro board videos that are unique to me. And I kid you not, bro. We tried that out, the Miro board style, where it was a bit more unique, where he had more flow to actually be himself. And we were struggling to get 200 views to the first Miro board video we made got 2K views. And now we're consistently doing 1K. It is absolutely insane. So I think, yeah, be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. Make content, especially if you're selling an info product, content that your younger self would find very valuable and watch. And yeah, that's how you're gonna rip. Appreciate you guys. And if you need any help with your Instagram, hit up the man right here. All right. So, let me give you some background on my client. So he's 17 years old. He started in high ticket sales, got up to about 40K a month at 16, stopped coaching because it was low leverage, started growth operating, and then he also had his own coaching program on the side. Growth operating, he didn't really like that much, so he started to scale his own coaching program. He's still 17, still goes to high school. He has basically a high ticket sales mentorship and he makes 350K a month.
Jeez.
And he still goes, he doesn't go in person. He doesn't go online, he goes in person. So
That's fair as well.
yeah, basically what I do is like, obviously we want to push the mentorship, right? It's called Thumber Academy. However, I think personally, he has the potential of a personal brand, like of a Brezin and Iman, just because and it's more of a long-term play. So when we're making content, yes, we make value related to sales, but we also do like very broad, like value stuff, such as like, here's what it's like making 350K. Now it's not 250 anymore. 350K at 17. Here's the 3 things I wish before I made my first 100K. And then like for the more value, like sales ones, it would be like, here's how to make your first 5K a month false DM setting. Other ones were like, here's how I manage making 40K a month as a closer at 16. But the issue I'm running into with these is that sometimes like a lot of the video ideas kind of just sound the same. And if you look at the performance on our reels, I'm going to leak my DMs, editor, please. If you look at the performance on our reels, we'll have like one really good viral banger, but yeah, this one got the clipping stuff that's separate. That's just from YouTube. But like most of the viral ones are stuff like, I made XYZ last month. Here's the secret. But the problem is they kind of like that. Yes, they go viral, but it's always the same thing, if that makes sense. So, let me know if you need any more info from me and kind of like how I go about my ideation. But that's kind of the information about the client, what we're going for, what I'm kind of seeing at the moment, and yeah, what we want to tweak. A lot of also we post on trial, right? So I send him like 3 to 5 raw videos a day. And then we post all of them on TikTok, and then on Instagram, we post on trial. The ones that get 3K views within like 24 hours, we publish.
So number one, bro, the environment is shit. Like this is bad. Like someone that one of my mentors told me, bro, the environment is everything. Like look at this. This doesn't seem like someone who makes 300K a month. Oh shit. Yeah, this doesn't seem like someone who makes 300K a month. This just looks like your average fucking dude trying to start a dropshipping course. Like, bro, me and you, we were out in Cape Town now recently. We don't even make as much as this guy, but our background. Okay, this one's not bad. Oh, bro, like look at this. Like he's in his car, bro. I mean, bro, if he's got so much, I mean, he's got the money. Why not rent out a sick villa for a week? That's the number one issue. Like no one's gonna take him serious because he's saying he's making 300K a month, but he looks like my old gaming setup back when I was playing Fortnite, bro.
That's a very good point because I saw that with my talking head too as well. Because it performed like I did the exact same topics and it performed shit when I was like in my bedroom, but when I did it at our villa, night and day difference.
I mean, he's in the middle of the fucking road. How I made now imagine, bro. Imagine he did this in front of like a supercar. That would have immediately just built so much more authority. I mean, he's doing this while fucking walking to fucking high school. He said he's in high school, yeah?
Yeah, he still is
bro,
in high school.
Bro, if he did this, would fucking rented supercar even say how I'm 17 and I made 70K in a week while in high school. He could show off the Lambo. Yo, he can show up can rented car and say, yo, I rented this and I'm in high school. Bam. That immediately just adds two more things to the video that literally can potential upside crazy. The next thing I would say honestly, bro. Okay, then my phone, I'll pay when I get home. It's just all about money, bro. Obviously now this is it's just it's about money. Why broke teenagers? Just like I'm very big on 3 content frameworks. Like I said, we spoke about it earlier. Make content that connects to the viewer. That's your personality. Make content that shows you're successful and shows why you're successful. Now, I mean, I see like he's trying to show that he's successful, but there's no like.
Yeah, the idea is we wanted to lead with that as like we give value later on in the video, but we want to lead with like that as the reason why they should listen to him.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I get that, but there's nothing that makes me want to listen to him. There's nothing that shows. Yeah, he's telling me he's making 300K a month, but there's nothing flash. I mean, obviously, flashy is good, right? We're gonna have flashy, but I mean, a good way to start this video off is like, this is my 20K Rolex. I make 80K. Like, I mean, this is good, right?
The reason that I am making this video is to remind you guys that
that's right from the start. This one, right?
So I'm 17. I am on Christmas break from school right now, and I've already made about $82,000.
Okay, yeah, that really shows that.
The reason that I am making these videos to remind you guys that breaks are not real. Yes, I understand you're taking off time from school, time from work, you're hanging out with your family, but the world is still moving. Time is still going. And so, for instance, while a lot of my friends, peers, people in my life in general, while they were taking this break, I made 80 grand. And this is just another example of choices that we all make in our everyday lives. And in the grand scheme of things, all it adds up to is one big choice. Whether you want to put the hard work in now, skip the breaks, actually try and make something happen, whether you want to pay the price in 15 years when you're sitting at a desk waiting for 5 p.m. to go. And that choice is completely up to you. If you want my help, you can check out my YouTube, read in my bio, and follow me more as well.
Obviously, I see 2 things. Number one, I see all the videos say maybe try more edited videos with better caption, something like that. That could help. Number 2, I feel like there's not much energy in it. Like, I mean, maybe if he moves around, it just builds better energy. Like, someone who does this really well, I'm sure you know Reese Smith. Can I put it up here? I mean, bro, if like Reese Smith is doing something very similar, my mentor always shows me Reese Smith.
It's Smith. His first name's Smith. So you need to reverse. And then it's Reese with an S. Reese with an
Yeah, put him in there. He does it much better, bro. Like we saw the video, like okay, yeah, that like we can just pull out one of the. It's extremely similar.
This one?
I mean,
I think Smith also tests a lot of different formats.
This is something that's maybe similar, right?
Here's how your life changes based on every single income goal that you can hit as an online entrepreneur, starting from 0 all the way to 100,000.
You see, like the energy is just different. You could immediately tell, like he's so much more louder. He's so much more active.
So that I felt the happiest and actually get the most freedom. And even think about traveling, and even think about buying it was.
This is not the best example. But the main point I'm trying to make is
higher energy.
Yeah, higher energy. He doesn't even feel like he wants to make the video. It doesn't look like he's excited to make the video. Like I said, the background or something, it's so generic. Maybe like I said, better editing, maybe captions that could help. And I mean, he's consistent enough. How long have you guys been posting for?
We started in like November of last year consistently.
We could just test more stuff, honestly. Maybe test some B-roll videos.
Think test more formats.
Yeah, test for.
I'm interested on your. I know what you said about background, and I think that's very valid. But the thing is, bro, like our really unique angle that especially that works for Wallace in the YouTube is that he makes 350K a month, but he still goes to high school.
That's true.
And like the fact is, everyone else is telling you no, drop out, no, don't enjoy your life, no, just grind. He doesn't do any of that, and he's still able to make 350K a month. But on the flip side, this won't go in the video. He did tell me if he thinks I think anything would do well, like buying a watch, renting a car, whatever, he'd do it. He's down for whatever. So that part will be.
I think this could be really good. You can make a video. I bought a Rolex. I own this car, and I'm still in high school, but I didn't drop out. Here's why.
That's the first video. So he already does have a Rolex.
Yeah. So I mean, he could use that as a hook.
I own a Rolex. He's obviously not gonna go rent a car today. What else can
Yeah.
you say?
I mean, I own a Rolex, or I spend this amount of money, or
He also spent $1 million last year.
yeah. I mean, you could just use those already as hooks, and then go back into that. Why I wouldn't drop out, why I'm still in school. There's someone that did this really well recently. He had a Lambo, actually. I forgot his name. I'm sure you must have seen the video. It's like a blacked out Lambo. He was in college. He didn't drop out of college. He got his college degree, and he did that really well. So I mean, use the fact that he doesn't want to drop out of college and mix that in with what all the other gurus do, and just spin the topic.
Interesting.
I mean, look at what wins in that niche, and then and then tailor it to him. I mean, you just look at the competitor. Even though the competitors are completely different, just tailor it to him. Tailor it to that vibe, or not drop out. Like, oh, I rented, or if he wants to go, maybe go away for like a weekend. Oh, I rented this 10K a month Airbnb, and I'm still in high school, and I haven't dropped out. Here's why. And you can spin that topic so many.
Okay, so it's showing proof first, and then obviously bringing it back to the
is your hook just doesn't have oomph enough. It doesn't have something that's grabbing attention much. I mean, the hook is just him saying how much money he makes. And the thing is, you can't really use that as a hook anymore, because how many people are saying that?
Yeah, it's rinsed. Very good point.
So you gotta grab attention somehow, somewhere.
Something personal and something kind of shocking.
Yeah, you gotta grab the hook now visually instead of
verbally.
Yeah, instead of verbal. I mean, everyone's using the verbal hooks. So I gotta hit it with the visual hooks. So something that just looks cool. That first 3 seconds, bro, it's gotta be so much shit happening in those first 3 seconds that people are gonna be like, yo. And then he spins it to but I haven't dropped out of high school. And that's gonna make people think.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the main thing is just better visual hooks. I mean, the video ideas are good, but like.
So I'm 17. So I have had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, visually, there's nothing that grabs anyone in the first couple of seconds.
Everybody's been asking me, so I'm finally going to reveal you.
Okay, so you think the topics are good?
The topics are good.
Okay. However, we need to have one better visual hooks. Maybe in the hooks something, not just, we can still talk about money, but something else too to grab attention.
Yeah. Something even weird, like, I mean, bro could be on like a fucking hoverboard or something. It's something that just makes people think about why are we doing it? Like that fuck you energy. Like, I mean, I've got so much money, I'm still in school, I can do whatever I want.
And then high energy too as well.
High energy.
Okay.
I mean, he's not bad. I mean, he's just got to be a bit more louder. Obviously, but he mustn't like try and
force it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just be a bit more.
I think I know what the issue is though with the low energy. The issue is that I haven't pushed a lot of reels a day. We do like, it's more like 5 to 8 raw videos, and I think we're doing more volume as opposed to more like quality. Yeah. So I think what would be really useful for us is maybe dial that back down to 3 really good videos a day, really well thought out, and then if we want to post extra, we can test different formats. So like B-roll videos, slideshows, just, you know, cool videos with the sound, whatever it may be, we can test that. And then the talking head, we can, we'll obviously.
Bro, I guarantee you just start doing better visual looks, this views.
And the visual hooks doesn't even need to be editing, right? We just need to show something in the video. Okay.
Just something that's a bit more unique.
Interesting.
I mean, how many people make the same exact video? I mean, I saw this with myself as well. Like, I was making videos exactly like this, when I started outside with my content. Obviously, I'm still quite fresh, new, but I saw videos that were done in my bedroom with a shit visual look, which just obviously my office did much more worse than when I started my visual hooks out in Cape Town when we were there recently. I mean, I started in front of the Brabus, instantly the video got 17K views compared to,
in your bedroom.
Yeah, compared to the bedroom. Obviously, that's hard to tackle, but I mean, he's got the budget for it. is what makes 300K.
Yeah.
So he can definitely spend a bit, whether that being just better visual things. I mean, even better clothes, even. I mean,
Maybe some Chrome.
maybe even Chrome. Yeah, I mean, just something that shows people something.
I like
Yeah,
that.
better just visual looks. Honestly, I think that's the main thing.
Okay.
I can guarantee you, once you get better visual looks, immediately, like, you'll see at least like a 50% increase in views.
I like that. And then what do you think for, because obviously I know you said the ideas are good, but I feel like an issue we run into is that we'll find something that works, we'll abuse it for a bit, but then like we run into the issue that everything kind of sounds the same,
Yeah,
just with a
exactly.
different spin. How do we keep making that unique?
So this is a hard one because he's sort of in a very interesting situation where he doesn't have many competitors. He doesn't have many 17-year-olds making 300K a month while still in high school. I think this is where personality content can mix in really well with this. He can explain his traits. He can explain things that he does in a daily that still helps him maintain this life. Sort of dive away from the money and more into him as a person and how he's done this. Because you're sort of going off the I made this amount of money, I made this amount of money, this, that. It's not gonna be, you just have to test a bunch of things, honestly. We can see he does it a little bit.
Yeah, news.
Maybe just make more general based videos as well. This is a good one, yeah. 4 mistakes that are costing you money as a sales rep.
That didn't perform too well though, that's the thing. Only got 3K.
That's true, but I mean, it doesn't mean you should just get rid of it. Or you try out something else.
Good point.
Like I said earlier, like, I mean, if 7 videos do bad, then okay, cut it, but this is only 1. Like I said, maybe it could just be the tone, I mean, this.
Here are 4 mistakes that keep sales reps out $5,000 a month, coming from somebody who made $40,000 a month as a sales rep has 6
Yeah,
years.
the hook is way too long. I don't know what the fuck he just said there. There was so much to put. There was so much to say. Maybe like match cast hook and then switch to a different position. So that snaps viewers back in place. The idea one, that's definitely a problem. I think that's just going to be testing. Look at people that are sort of similar in your niche. The best way to breach that is just personality content. So he should just make videos about his life more. I mean, something that just connects him with the viewer, and then automatically that just builds such a bigger content.
How does one ideate that though?
How does one ideate that? Good question. How does one ideate that? That would mainly be just pick up the camera and film the most authentic moments. I mean, if he's in class and his teacher is talking about some shit, if he's with a friend and his friend asks him something for advice, I mean, you could capture that.
Good point.
It's a bit harder to do with someone who's really like him, because obviously he's in a very interesting niche where he's 17, he's making 300K a month.
He's a unicorn.
Yeah, I mean, no one's really 17 making 300K a month. But the main thing is just going to be careful.
Well, there we go.
Just throw things at the board. I mean, he's still failing. He's only got 10K followers. He's only getting 3K per video, almost 5K. So I mean, just test a bunch of shit. Don't be afraid to test shit. And if you see like, okay, you tested 7 things, it all got 3K views, all right, next test.
Interesting.
Just like low-key ask your AI to just optimize for testing.
Okay.
Look at competitors, see guys who are outside of his niche, see guys in high ticket sales as well, see general videos that they're doing and adapt it back into his style. The main thing is competitive. Even though he doesn't have many, still look at guys in the high ticket space.
Not even just competitors, guys who are like similar personas. I think Smith is a pretty good one. Maybe Jake Ryan too as well. He was really good with content. Yeah, but it's kind of like you said. No one's 17 making 350K a month. So people want to find out who that person.
I guess document it a bit more. Like, I mean, day in the lives of how he manages such a hectic schedule.
Yeah, we wanted to do that. He said he thought it would just be a bit too boring though.
Sometimes the boring content works. Sometimes people want boring. Sometimes people don't want to see. I mean, but sometimes I get tired of seeing 10 supercars on my For You page.
Very good point.
I just want to see.
Very good point.
I mean, guys are going to want to know how he does this. And then they're willing to watch the boring content. I mean, as long as you edit it well enough, you cut out the boring and you put in the actual parts that people want to see.
I like that.
You'll never know until you test it. You'll only know once you test it.
Yeah.
Even if the idea doesn't seem solid, you really never know. I mean, we had so many ideas that I didn't want to do, but they ended up doing extremely well.
So keep testing, don't box ourselves in,
Yeah.
and then analyze.
Yeah, analyze.
Yeah, look at the data, look at the other, yeah, look at the competitors as well. Okay. Yeah, I think we covered a good amount. Now let's go in and actually make some ideas. So I have the one, I own a Rolex, I spent $1.2 million last year, and I make 350K a month at 17, but I still didn't drop out. So let me tell the AI, this is amazing AI, by the way, if you train it correctly. I think that one's good. Visual hook, he'll have the Rolex on. We
Yeah.
can do a green screen. He has a screenshot. He can show down. He can show that. And then 350K a month, he can switch the camera to his dashboard. It's like very quick and then
Yeah.
jump cut.
Yeah.
Boom.
Second idea, how I manage making 300K a month while still in high school.
Do you want to write the hook just like that?
Yeah. And let the AI cook it. Even a nice one could be, I mean, going around asking people in high school how they feel about it, making 300K a month while still in high school.
Interviews.
Yeah, interviews.
Like Samir did. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, Samir is definitely how he did it. I mean, ask his friends, like, do you feel like he's changed as a person? Do you feel
That
less than-
might actually be.
Yeah.
He might not want to do it though because he
Yeah,
feels.
that's true, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could censor out the friends. I mean, you could put like a blur and shit on it.
True. What do you think about the third one?
Kind of understanding why he still hasn't dropped out. Has he talked about that?
Yeah, we've spoken about it a few times actually.
What is a fire video idea be? Let me think.
Well, we said personal, right? The type of person he is.
It's actually a really hard one, eh? It's very interesting on this.
I know it is. I own a Rolex. I spent $1.2 million last year, and I make something I can also do later is I can take this whole thing where you're giving the sauce, I can transcribe it. Actually, no, I can just upload the video here into Poppy. I can upload the talk we gave to as well. I can take all the principles and help, but obviously that's going to take time. So now, what else can we do? I own a Rolex. I spent $1.2 million this year, and I make 350K a month at 17, but I still didn't drop out. How I manage making 300K 50 a month while still going to high school 5 days a week. I think that gives a bit more detail. Third one.
I mean, if he hasn't dropped out, it means he thinks school matters and he thinks that school is important. So why school is important while still being an entrepreneur, or why that system is so important possibly. I mean, he might have good points to talk about. I mean, if he's still in school, it means he believes in it. And he believes in it.
Maybe. But that's somewhat, we're kind of speaking about school a bit too much, yeah. What's something you would want to learn from someone who's 17 who makes 350K a month and still goes to high school?
That's a good question. What would I want to learn from them? What drove them to do it? What? It's a good... Fuck, it's a tough one actually. Wow,
Because I'm actually curious. He made 40K a month closing at 16. That was all profit, but something told him, fuck closing, I'm going to get out, I'm going to go all in on my own business, and then he took that to 350K a month. And with closing, he kind of had a safety net, whereas with this business, it was different. I feel like that could be a good idea fleshed out.
I made 40K whilst in high school, but I still decided I wanted more. Something like that.
Do you want that as the hook?
Yeah, something like that. Let the AI cook with that. Obviously, just let the AI know that
I was making 40K a month, 16 years old.
But I risked it all to make even more.
But I risked it all to make even more. Could we do something like, here's the story of how I...
Yeah, something like that.
Here's the full story of what drove me to make 6 figures a month.
So while still in high school.
You want to say 6 figures or 350?
Say 6 figures. 6 figures sounds a bit.
All right, now this is the interesting part. So this AI is really good for giving you a structure. However, you want to make sure it's not corny. So I'm going to tell it, please expand on all these ideas with the structure you have. I gave it a structure. Keep the hooks exactly as is. I actually want to... How did you say you...
Alright, but do you need to go? I need to wrap up.
I'm just going to say structure it as it...
Yeah.
Yeah, keep the hooks exactly as is and make sure the bodies are super valuable. CTA, just follow for more.
Yeah.
Sidebar Omega. So the super hook is basically, I learned this from someone, but like hook, that's like super punchy. Super hook teases them on the value they're going to get in the video, gives them like more of a reason to keep watching. So it's like, I want a Rolex. I spent $1.2 million last year and I make 350K a month at 17, but I still didn't drop out. Most people think making this much money means you should drop out, flex, and never look back. But here's why I stayed in school and why it's actually the smartest move for anyone trying to, I would change this. I don't like saying build real wealth. That's cringe. But like, I like the super hook because it's like, it teases on this without like saying anything. So we want to basically keep them watching as much as possible. And then for value, what I like to do is just the bullet points. It's his job to basically expand on these, say it in his own words, and then, you know, give like real experiences, etc., etc. I don't really like doing word for word, especially for short form. So school gives you structure and routine. Having a set schedule forces you to manage your time, stay disciplined, actually get more done. Dropping out burns bridges and closes doors you might want to open later. I kept my options open, kept my family happy, and avoided unnecessary drama with people who don't get it. You can do both. I built a 350K a month business while still going to class, doing homework, and living a normal life. It's not about choosing one or another. It's about being efficient and ruthless with your time. I would change some of the verbiage, like,
Yeah, there's a lot you can change that makes it less cringy.
yeah, that's the problem.
That's the thing, is that that's where he comes in. When he actually reads this, he'll change it as he speaks. That's a nice thing.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is fine. Video idea 2, how I manage making 350K a month while still going to high school 5 days a week. Everyone thinks you need to drop out of sacrifice your life to make real money. Here's how I balance both and still scale my business every single month. Ruthless time blocking. I split my day into school hours, business hours. When I'm at school, I'm present, I'm working. I think this is fine. And
Like I said, this changes as he makes it.
yeah, of course.
That's a nice thing.
That's the thing too as well. When you're filming, obviously expand more and, you know, just let it flow. Let yourself go on a roll.
Yeah.
I was...
Oh, this one's nice. I was making 16K a month. I was making 40K a month. 16-year-old.
But I risked it all to make even more. Here's the full story of what drove me to make 6 figures while still in high school. Most people would get comfortable making 40K a month as a teenager. I risked everything to level up. Here's why and how you can do the same.
Yeah.
I fuck with this.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be our winner. The
Yeah.
personal stuff. Like why he is who he is and just uncovering it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a very interesting story, and I'm sure he's never talked about that actual process of going and risking all that. So it could be
I think what actually
while
might
dealing with
work...
high school, while dealing with exams, while dealing with all of that.
Because at the moment we're kind of just guessing, which I think is fine. But like I used to do this a lot in the past, and we'll wrap up now. I'm gonna send this to him later. I'll just text him that it's done. I'm driving. But when I first started my agency, I used to send my clients an onboarding form, but I also used to hop on an hour-long call with them, learn their story, and get to know every single thing about them. Do you think that would be useful in his case?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially for his...
You know what you could do? Honestly, I did with one client. Let him just open a Google Doc and from everything, from every experience, every small business that started, everything. I mean, it could be a small business, like how I went from fucking selling this for $5 to make it 350K a month. That adds a little part of personality. And that person.
And then we're able to feed it to the AI. We're able to make better stories, and then, you know, we can just...
so much more video ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would say get him, I don't know if you had this already, but get him to just open a Google Doc, fucking as many pages as he can, let him spend a whole weekend on it, and then fucking put every single thing he's done in his life so far. Everything in school. Was he bad at maths? Was he fucking bad at English? Being bad at English led me to fucking be better in sales, this, that.
Banger. All right.
My English teacher fucking hated me, so I decided to fucking, you know what I mean, shit like that. Obviously it's a bit cringy, but you fine tune it to make it less cringy and good.
Mm-hmm. This was supposed to be a 1 minute reel. It's 30 minutes, but hopefully you guys got sauce. I'll send you all this.